Sounds correct. Sounds correct.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for giving me this chance to speak about the mutual benefit agreement with NexGen. This year, for many reasons, will be a memorable one. For me, it's because there are many opportunities at the doorstep of our community, ones that will bring about substantial change and the potential for substantial wealth for today and for future generations. When I say wealth, I mean more than just jobs and money. I mean the opportunity to connect with our land and protect it, to benefit from the resources in our traditional territories, and to stand up for and be recognized for our inherent rights as First Nations people. In the past, industry didn't engage with First Nations. We saw this with many of the dealings decades ago with projects such as the Cuff Lake Mine and the Uranium City. Even today, many resource-based industries choose to do just the bare minimum engagement necessary, but this time is different. Over the past 7 years of working with NexGen, I believe that their core beliefs, the way they have engaged us, and the resulting of the mutual benefit agreement prove they are different. This engagement proves that they are willing to commit to a long-term relationship where our voices can be heard and there is a strong communication between us. The protection of the environment and the impact of the project on our traditional activities was a major concern. I was happy to learn that the actual footprint of their operation is small relative to other projects, and their way of operating minimizes environmental impacts. Their activities will be closely monitored by the Canadian Nuclear Security Council. They have extremely strict rules they need to follow and will be monitored by the CNSC constantly. In addition, they are providing funding for Birch to appoint an environmental monitor and an environmental committee to act as a watchdog and provide communications to the community. NexGen is also supporting our cultural activities through sponsorship activities of our choosing. This fall, they sponsored the hunting trip, and we are guaranteed an annual amount for the lifetime of the mine. This will help us celebrate our culture and pass it along to the future generations. The negotiating team came forward with big demands. One of those demands was funding for capacity and for implementation of the MBA to be done by Birch's business arm, the BNDDI, also known as Birch Narrows Denny Development Incorporation. This will ultimately turn the relationship into a business arrangement rather than a political one, and provide Birch Narrows with capacity for opportunity beyond the Rook 1 project. The employment office is a good example of that. The office and one staff member will be funded by the MBA. However, it will be able to create a database of resumes and help members find employment, not just at NexGen, but other places as well. It is the intent that this office will be able to leverage its resources to access funding, future funding to do additional training initiatives and help members break down barriers to become and stay employed. Another area where we negotiated more for Birch is through stock ownership, which was important for Birch. Our negotiating team requested that Birch become owners through the ownership of NexGen shares. This both cemented the relationship, but also proved that we both want to succeed. Together, they agreed to this in addition to the progress and royalty payments, which are substantial and industry leading. While this agreement does not provide a set amount for procurement or sole source opportunities, it does provide a process for BNDDEI to access millions in contracts for the mine should it proceed. BNDDEI is interviewing for a full-time CEO that will look at partnerships, joint ventures, and possible ways to supply product and services to the construction, operation, and maintenance of the mine. By signing the MBA, this does not mean they are off the hook and can do whatever they want. It means they are agreeing to a process, a way of working together so that both parties can benefit. We can also participate in the regulatory process, engage them legally if they fail to meet their commitments under this agreement. For those of you that feel that this is a sellout, I just want to let you know that no, this is not a sellout. There are hundreds of similar agreements across Canada, just like this one. And they had very positive impacts to the communities. We need to be realistic about our position. We do not have the ability to stop the project. What we do have, by exercising our inherent rights, is the ability to obtain additional assurance regarding the protection of the environment, the protection of our traditional hunting grounds, and participate in economic benefits of the project through ownership, business ventures, and employment opportunities for our membership. We as council intend to sign the MBA on January 30th, which would mark the first milestone and begin the funding of the implementation and the cultural benefits. For council and myself to feel comfortable in signing this agreement, we want to ensure that the community fully understands it and supports it. That's what today is about. Your chance as community members, band members, to learn about the project and ask questions that you have. Thank you for your time.